Guillermo Linares right now is undecided on who he's going to support. Do you see that as a good, you know?
No, no, no. It's a terrible thing to get involved in a race and cause your friends to have to take sides because of their concern about their culture rather than the quality of leadership. This happens with every group, and I only hope that with the integrity of the people that you're talking about, that we all be able to say that we're one family and we'll be working together.
Congressman, Mr. Linares is standing right behind you.
Hey, oh my God, hey, I'm glad I said the right thing. And Bobby, you know, when you've been in for 40 years, God has blessed you in knowing the families, and the Rodriguez families can bring tears to the eyes of anybody to be able to say that a guy that's been trained in Ivy League, and yet he didn't walk away from Harlem, that says more than whether he's Puerto Rican or what he is. This is his love for this. Linares came here, the pride of the Dominican Republic, because he was the first in doing everything. And among civil rights leaders, things happen. And I think things are happening now. And let me talk about Keith. You know, he wasn't drafted to become county leader.
Not at all.
But I tell you, you did one hell of a job. And of course, with Inez, the campaign begins, and we never had a campaign that the culture of a community stopped us from doing what we had to do. And there's my brother, Dave Dinkins, Simplify. It keeps going on. So you're going to be seeing a lot of me on a lot of specific things. We're talking about the job bill. We're talking about what is happening in the Supreme Court as a result to the health bill. We're talking about working very, very close with the White House, both politically and legislative.
I was just going to say, to follow up on that, are you seeking President Obama's support, or have you guys?
No. I welcome it, but no, I'm not seeking it.
Congressman Rangel, on another topic, have you or your colleagues in Congress considered taking any action or official inquiry into the Trayvon Martin case?
Well, there's no one in the Congress, including Republicans, that are not embarrassed by the racist tones that this assassination has turned. When you're dealing with the Justice Department, and they are investigating, notwithstanding President Obama, there's limitations that we can direct the federal courts to be able to do under those circumstances. But I think this is an opportunity for the United States of America to show who we are. The fact that some over-anxious, overzealot person has taken someone's life, and that we know that color is a part of this. It's not just whether it's the Justice Department, it's that, do we go to our churches? Do we go to our synagogues? Do we talk about why this happened? Do we actually say when we go home, thank God it's not my child? And if it's not your child, what makes you sure that it cannot be your child? Countries are given great opportunities during times like this. And I truly believe with all of my heart that the sacrifices we made for the civil rights movement was just as important for our country as it was for those people who made the personal sacrifices.
Congressman, speaking of Assemblyman Wright, there have been sort of persistent reports that you're interested in passing off this seat to him in some way.
How do you do that? Because, you know, I've heard a lot about that too. Do you have a formula that you pass on and you say, this is your seat? Let me make it clear. There are a lot of people that figure that I've been around so long that they have to create questions when they really know the answers to most of them. The fact is that if I went to my constituents and asked for 2 more years, it means that they trust me enough to serve for 2 years. There's no one that I love dearer more than Keith. He's worked hard, but elections are elections. But I wish people would not infer that I'm crooked and I plan to develop some plan where you vote for me and you're going to get Keith in the morning. I mean, that's not right.
Is it important to you that you leave on your own terms after 40 years and aren't pushed out by someone?
I don't know. I think you're running out of questions, Sheree.
How long you planning to be around? How long you planning to be around, Congressman?
You know,
Well, he's
quite
younger than
frankly,
I am.
quite frankly, I really thought I could make a difference in reapportionment. I really, truly overstated the influence I thought that I could have. And, of course, I may be overstating the importance that Obama needs and the experience and the Ways and Means Committee and the things that I'm working now with Nancy Pelosi. And so therefore, there's no question, you're not going to see any picture of any bill that the president's passed and I'm not there. The very first the bill that came out of my committee under my chair. And so when people believe that there's someone really young enough, exciting enough, picking this thing up and go, I was not born with the U.S. Congress stamped on me, and I don't expect I'll die with a stamp. But it's one step at a time, and one thing is for certain that I've always, always encouraged candidates to get involved. I have to. That's what the country's all about, and that's the opportunity that I was given, and I sincerely mean that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's over,
Congressman,
except for the west side.
Congressman, as the current congressman, do you think that people are going to vote for you as the black candidate and vote for Espaillat as the Latino?
I don't
candidate?
have that kind of training to determine what makes people vote for people based on color, religion, and whatnot. Next question.
Can you talk about the hiring of Moises Perez for your campaign and his passing?
I was so lucky, I didn't know he was hired or not, but when he came forward and said whatever he could do and got in touch with Bill Lynch, I don't know of any Dominican that loves our country and loves the Dominican Republic more than he does. And he has such a moral, persuasive following, which includes people in the Clinton administration, the Obama administration. So I could have seen if he, as others, that Maria Luna and so many other people, if they had said, not now, I'll wait, I would have had to understood it, but it was with great pride that I figured that we got him.
Yes, Congressman, thank you. Say to Arundi with Arundi Media, in your next 4 years being reelected, what would you like to see improved or done in the Harlem community and in D.C.?
I think we need more peace in the world. I don't want to get spiritual and whatnot. But at a time that so many people are dying and they're hungry, uneducated, homeless, and we are encouraging young people to join the military, as that's the American way to go. When we talk about the best way to create jobs is to cut back in spending and investing in these jobs, there's something immoral with this whole thing. And I'm not saying I can make a difference, but I certainly want to get out there and encourage rabbis and ministers and imams in saying, this is wrong, your silence is wrong, at a time when we know that every biblical concept, every religious concept, you're supposed to take care of those people who are vulnerable, those people are poor, those people are sick, and you're not just supposed to lock them up. And that's morally wrong. Okay, we're wrapping it up, gang. I can't thank you enough.
Congressman.
Just one question for Univision. One of the things that being created, like you said, many creations out of this campaign, is that there's the fear that there might be a division between the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, because many leaders, politicians, Puerto Ricans, are supporting you and even Dominicans rather than Mr. Espaillat.
That is a very difficult and sensitive question. In the civil rights movement, when it was to the benefit of the Democratic Party that blacks stayed and supported white Congress people because they would have more political power. Fathers and mothers couldn't tell their black children to wait because the man is such a nice person. So that it's very difficult for someone not to say, this is my turn and I'm passing. Of course, there are a lot of older people who understand that you have to build relationships of trust. And it's not that this is not your turn. It's a question of working out so that everyone doesn't feel, or no one feels that they're behind. Some people jumped the gun because of their ambitions. Others jumped the gun because so many people encouraged them to do it. But I'm certain whether we're talking about Adriano or not, it's not an easy choice for him. And I said it to him and others, there's nothing that this campaign has say or do